Adam Schiff, I'm not through with you yet. Neither are Matt Taibbi and his friends. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is another and extra special declaration of truth from your host, Terry A. Hurlbut. Yesterday, Matt Taibbi revealed the Russiagate lies, showing how Representative Adam Schiff of California and 2 United States senators used Twitter to promote a double falsehood regarding the Russian Federation. Today, Matt Taibbi released Twitter Files Part 14A, giving more details of Adam Schiff using Twitter against his political opponents, and maybe to hide some monkey shines with the committee he chaired at the time. The Adam Schiff thread is very short, only 10 tweets. Before I get into it and the reaction to it, I do want to shout out to the prime sponsor of this channel, which is Conservative News and Views. Link in the description. And be sure to check out the awesome CNAV Store. Scroll down near the bottom for that link. Lots of great merchandise there, especially this t-shirt that I have chosen for today, which quotes Ronald Reagan, saying, if fascism ever comes to America, it will come in the name of liberalism, which it has. And Adam Schiff made himself the point man. One more thing. If you like what you're about to hear, you can like this video. You can also click the bell icon to get a notice every time I come out with a new one. In fact, do you see that new icon, the heart shape with the US dollar sign in it? That's the super thanks icon. If you really want to keep these videos coming, click that and leave me a tip. Any currency will do, so long as it's legal tender. Now then, I have left links in the description to every other tweet in the thread, as I usually do. So there are only 5 of them. But if you click any one of them, you get the tweet right before it, and maybe many others, depending on where you do it. These tweets contain embedded images of emails, earlier tweets, and other documents. So here is the full text. Twitter Files, supplemental. More Adam Schiff ban requests and de-amplification. The staff of House Democrat Adam Schiff wrote to Twitter quite often, asking that tweets be taken down. This important use of taxpayer resources involved an ask about a Peter Douche parody photo of Joe Biden. The Democratic National Committee made the same request. Now, the embedded image is an obvious retouch of Biden sticking his tongue out. It has a caption bearing the nickname Sloppy Joe. Now, whoever used it wasn't talking about the open-faced pork barbecue sandwich. To continue, the real issue was Donald Trump retweeted the Biden pic. To its credit, Twitter refused to remove it, with Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth saying it had obvious humorous intent and any reasonable observer, apparently not a Schiff staffer, could see it was doctored. Schiff staffer Jeff Lowenstein didn't give up, claiming there was a slippery slope concern here. Twitter also refused requests for bans of content about Schiff and his staff. For example, complete suppression of any and all search results about Mr. Misko and other committee staff. Said committee being the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Twitter said this would not be conceivable. Even when Twitter didn't suspend an account, that didn't mean they didn't act. Schiff's office repeatedly complained about QAnon-related activity that were often tweets about other matters, like the identity of the Ukraine whistleblower or the Steele dossier. Twitter policy at the time didn't ban QAnon, but de-amplified such accounts. About the batch of tweets that included those above, Twitter execs wrote, "We can internally confirm that a number of the accounts flagged are already included in this de-amplification," close quote. Schiff's office had a concern about de-amplification, though. It might make it harder for law enforcement to track the offending tweeters. We appreciate greatly. Follow this. We are curious whether any de-amplification measures implemented by Twitter's enforcement team, which we appreciate greatly, could impede the ability of law enforcement to search Twitter for potential threats about Misco and other HPSCI staff. For more, watch Mike Schellenberger, Barry Weiss, Lee Fang, David Schweig, Alex Berenson, and others. Twitter had no editorial input. Searches were carried out by third parties, so the documents could be limited. End of thread. Before I get into a few explanations of the text, and especially the reaction to and my analysis of it, I want to shout out to a sponsor who can really help you through the economic storms to come. That sponsor is oursilverlines.com. Do you feel like you're working harder for your money just to get by? You are not alone. The fluctuating economy, employment issues, unexpected changes in life have left many families struggling over the past few years. Collecting gold and silver can help shield you against many of these challenges. But if you're like me many years ago, you don't know where or how to start. Our Silver Lines helps by connecting you with thousands of members who are learning the secrets to creating and protecting true wealth by collecting precious metals. Whether you just want to collect rare and unique coins or take advantage of the business opportunities this company provides, either way, they can help you learn to live an exceptional life. Visit oursilverlines.com to learn how you can build a legacy for your future. Now, first, some context. Adam Schiff served then as chairman of that House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Now, why this committee is a permanent select committee and not a standing committee, I don't know. I've never figured that out. Now, the new speaker, Representative Kevin McCarthy of California, has removed Schiff from this committee altogether. Presumably, Representative Mike Turner of Ohio, the previous ranking member, inherits the chair. Before Turner, Representative Devin Nunes, also of California, served as ranking member, before resigning to head the Trump Media and Technology Group. That's Truth Social and so on. Devin Nunes authored the critical report about the Russia hoax that Adam Schiff and two senators wanted Twitter to disparage. Now, compared to everything else Adam Schiff has done, this seems trivial, petty, and pathetic, except for the shadow banning or de-amplification. And in this regard, so far, this seems to be the only time any Democrat has expressed concern about compromising Twitter's value as an archive. Reaction to this latest Twitter Files installment varies, as ever, from wow to there you see to nothing burger. I see one tweet in that last category, with the rest evenly divided between the first two. But what I don't see is any Trump quoque or even Republicans quoque. That's because we don't see, so far in the Twitter Files, any example of Republican politicians doing the same thing Adam Schiff did. Speaking of the Twitter Files, one user embedded this hilarious animation to ask just how many Twitter files remain. I have a link in the description, of course. It shows Elon Musk grabbing the handle of a file drawer labeled Twitter Files. Suddenly the drawer is extending itself impossibly long and carrying him backward for several seconds before he falls on the floor. With one hand still on the drawer handle, someone who looks like a marionette takes one folder from the drawer and then it retracts, carrying Elon with it, hanging on for dear life. You have got to follow the link and watch. Another user wants to see a prosecution of Schiff. Now, that could happen, given that he faces felony charges. But Schiff will leave the House of Representatives through one of two ways: electoral defeat or expulsion. Republicans did not gain nearly the two-thirds supermajority that expulsion would require. And as for re-election, I've told you before many times that the souls of some Americans are in a very dark place. Only that can explain why an Adam Schiff wins re-election every time. User Melissa Tate asked reasonably, how the things Schiff requested differ from fascism. I have a link into the description to her tweet asking that, and then to a tweet by another user complaining about the level of control by government over what people can say. Yet another user pointed out that the Twitter files are like the tip of a large iceberg involving many other social media. I have a link in the description to that tweet showing a concept drawing of an iceberg that must be a permanent meme on the internet. The tip of the iceberg above the surface is labeled Twitter files. Beneath the surface, you do things like YouTube files, Facebook files, Instagram files, every other kind of file, on and on and on. But then we have this, to which I also have a link in the description. Quote, have never seen a journalist turned note-taker for a billionaire so desperately trying to retcon a bunch of incoherent clips into a story of censorship and to disparage Russiagate. Don't worry, Glenny will pat your head, but geez, pathetic. Close quote. Now, I have no idea who Glenny is supposed to be. Retcon is an abbreviation for retroactive continuity and is a way to change the basic narrative of a story arc spanning many motion picture or television projects or television episodes, or to repair inconsistencies that appear in that story arc. In this case, the user is accusing Matt Taibbi of making these messages tell a story that they don't really tell. Is that the best they can do? Must be. The replies to it were uniformly negative as of noon Pacific time. The most recent reply asked whether the user really does not believe that Adam Schiff was engaging in or commissioning censorship. I would answer that some people will believe what they want to believe. That aside, the earlier thread revealed the worst things that Adam Schiff and Senators Dianne Feinstein of California and Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut did. Those things involved acts calculated to start a war. Compared to such things, this is a pathetic attempt to make people believe that some opinions are beyond the pale. Now, oddly enough, Kevin McCarthy is the most liberal Republican in the entire House of Representatives. In fact, some overlap that you can count on the fingers of one hand does exist between the most liberal Republicans and the most conservative Democrats, but not by much. Furthermore, Kevin McCarthy must prove himself to a cadre of representatives even more conservative than your average membership of the House Republican Conference. So, seeing Adam Schiff lose his membership in the House Intelligence Committee should surprise no one. This short thread shows that Schiff, while chairman of that committee, must have done things he wanted to hide. We are likely to find out what those things are when a member from a different party takes charge. This thread doesn't say what those things are, but it should tell Representative Turner to start looking. Seek, and ye shall find. Links in the description to the article, to the thread, to the tweet with the animated cartoon asking how many Twitter files there are, to the tweet asking how is this any different from fascism, and now you know why I chose this t-shirt, to the tweet about government control of what people say, to the tweet showing this is the tip of the iceberg, to the tweet from someone accusing Taibbi of retconning disconnected tweets, to my Declarations of Truth Twitter account, and to Conservative News and Views. I've also left links to the awesome CNAV Store and to oursilverlines.com, as I also mentioned. You know already about how to like a video, turn on notifications, and leave a tip. On the end screen, I'm going to leave a subscribe link to my channel and links to my Twitter Files playlist, my State Actors video, and a video by Jeremy at the Quartering saying that the evidence from the Twitter Files shows that some people should go to prison for what they have done, for how they misuse Twitter. This is Terry A. Hurlbut delivering another Declaration of Truth and reminding you to let the truth set you free.